Why, good evening, YouTube. It's me. It's not Michael B. Hey, by the way, welcome to Arcades Anonymous. I am your host, Nerd Lounge Master 84. Welcome to Arcades Anonymous. I hope everybody is having a fantastic Wednesday. As you can see, I'm still having internet problems, so I decided to shut the camera off so you don't have to see my evil or ugly mug, I guess. But glad that y'all are here with us tonight. I'm going to bring in all my wonderful co-hosts. Hope everybody is having a ready time. Let's see if everybody's... There we go. Hey, everybody, what's going on?
We made it.
Woo!
Come on, buddy.
You're here.
I miss your face, Todd. I miss your face.
Yeah.
You missed my face already, huh?
We all don't have gerbil internet like Todd, so got to get.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm going to definitely be hitting up Lumos this week. They're going to have a full earful from me, so it'll be fun, right? So let's go around the horn. Chaotic, what's going on, my friend?
What's going on, Todd? How are you doing, my man?
Doing very well. You've been touring all the shows. I'm glad you took some time to hang out with.
Well, if I'm not going to do my own content, I might as well start wrecking other people's content, right?
Breaking the mold. Yeah, there you go. No, you've been on some great streams lately, so if you haven't seen where he's been, check him out. He's just been around the world, right?
Yeah, been hanging out with Papa Brad, and I hung out with Shotgun Sean and Rascal, and
that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Their 100th episode, and it was a community show last night. It was a great show last night. So much fun.
A lot of good information too last night.
Yeah. Congratulations to Rascal and Shotgun Sean. That's awesome that they hit 100 shows. We're a little bit north of that, so I guess I need to calculate how many shows we've actually had. So, but I guess we're in season 3.
They had to take a lot of time off here and there.
Yeah,
and like we always tried to stay consistent. It's really easy for us when we got 6 or 7 people on the screen at all times.
Yeah, we got
just the 2 of them, and if one of them gets sick, then they're not doing a show. So,
yeah. Yes, B. Kirby, I am Kit of the crew. Yeah, that's me. That's running the. And I wore a fancy hat and a fancy shirt. I was trying to be all festive for St. Patrick's Day, and just went to Crud. So, anyway.
Well, now your fancy hat is Goku and UI, and his shirt's all ripped up. So there you go.
And you're shredded.
Yeah, you're ripped, dude.
Yeah. Oh, Stock Jock, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great. By the way, Israel Gaming, I just want to let you know that beautiful background, that's just a green screen that every week I have a green screen behind me. That's it fell down. And no. Tonight's show is a little bit more about the topic, some other topics. So figured I'd do it in my home office here instead. So I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome, man. Can't wait to talk about stuff tonight.
Awesome. Multicade Matt, back again, my friend. How are you today?
Actually, it's been a productive week. So yeah, work's been productive, and then thanks to your heads up, like I actually got my my hat in on the pinball machine, which we're going to discuss later today. And so it was a win. It was just it's been a good week. It's only Wednesday, so yeah.
It's only Wednesday. We got 2 more days in it, and then it's the weekend again. I can't wait. Last but surely not least, Galaga Guy 88 back with us again, my friend. How are you today?
I am super excited. I feel like I came back at the right time because the home arcade community is just alive right now with so much excitement. It's like so much is going on right now. So this is great. I'm excited.
So I think we need to send him a nice level for that. Clearly he's just at an angle. Yeah, we just need to fix the angle of his calves. Are you on you must be on a slant somewhere. The water flows like to one corner.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what is with this camera, but like I swear I even like put a level on them. Like they're all level, put them in front of this camera, and it's like they just look tilted. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
So I'm like, well, they are what they are.
I wish I had that problem.
Illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish my
Optical
Galaga and Burger Time and Joust Cab and Final Fight Cab.
Yeah.
I wish I had real cabs that look like they dwarf me.
So,
Well,
we need
real
to
cabs that are never on, by the way. They're never on for us to. I mean, do they work?
How do they work? Well, that's a
I
secret.
never see them on.
Yeah, the members of my channel see it on. You can become a member. Okay.
Wait a minute. I'm a member of everybody's channel.
Yeah, you're a member. You'll see them on. You'll see them on. No, I'm kidding. But sometimes I turn them on, sometimes I don't. Just depends.
Okay, he's on borrowed time with those. Some of those he has to, has to be very careful when he can turn them on and off.
True.
Yeah.
CRTs.
Yeah, or saving electricity, that too. Yeah. But we're going to get you a box of shims so you can shim them all up so they look like they're.
That's right.
But obviously they won't be because.
They'll look straight on camera and be cricket in real life. That's what'll happen.
Priorities.
According to Jensen, we're on the 102nd episode. Really? I don't know. I'd have to do the math on that, but he's a master at these things, so he may be absolutely right.
Close,
so.
probably.
God, that is hanging out with Doc for 102 episodes.
Oh
boy,
God,
I'm
retired. That's awesome.
Yeah. Loved every minute of it. I've not had.
So we got Rascal by 2.
Huh?
We got Rascal by 2, man. We got Rascal by 2.
Yeah, we got Rascal by 2.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. All right, gentlemen. Well,
nice.
Let's get this party started here. We're going to go ahead and start real quick with the brackets. And I wish I had, some nice PowerPoints or whatever. But let's see what our good friend Jay. Obviously, Jay couldn't be here tonight. He's a little under the weather as well. So hope he feels better. And our good friend G.I. Joel, he is definitely working in the shop tonight. Maybe he's got us on live and he's listening to us. So shout out to him as well. So hope he is doing great.
By the way, Todd, he sent me a picture. He sent me a picture of his new CNC machine, and he had, I think, four of his risers all on one,
the same time.
all going at one time.
Oh wow!
It was pretty cool looking.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool looking.
That's awesome. Picked up another game today by Big D Retro. Time to restore and add it to collection. We got to have him on another time so we can see what his update on his projects are. That was a fun show as well.
What did you pick up?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, what did he pick up?
He said he picked up another game. What was it?
Yeah, maybe he'll tell us a little bit, or he's maybe keeping it a secret.
Maybe you know what it is. He picked up a Robotron. He's redoing it for me. He can break it down because
just for you.
Thank you, Big D Retro.
Must be busy making stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joel said he had a lot of orders to catch up on. He's trying to get stuff done. Joel, hope you're doing well as well from Retro Lizard.
Yep.
Oh,
NBA
Jam Tournament. Ooh, that's a fun one. That's going to be a fun restore.
Well, that doesn't sound like a Robotron to me, but that's okay.
He's going to sell it to buy a
nice That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, let me run through the standings real quick. So right now, as it stands, the first matchup was Vertex and the Atari 2600. Atari won. The Intellivision and Odyssey 2, the Intellivision won.
Smoked it, by the way. Smoked it.
Commodore 64 and the ColecoVision Commodore 64 won. The 7800 and the Sega Master System won. Turgo Graphics and NES, no surprise there, NES won. Amiga 500 and the Atari ST, Amiga won. Nintendo 64 and the Jaguar, no surprise there, the Nintendo 64 won. And Neo Geo and the original Xbox won. So we're going to do 2 polls tonight while we're live. The first one's going to be GameCube and Xbox. I'll put that up in just a minute. So if you could help us vote, we would graciously appreciate that. Then towards the end of the show, it'll be PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn. So that's our update on the bracket right now. I'm
Is
sorry.
it regular Xbox, Xbox 360, or which Xbox is it?
He said Xbox One.
Yep, Xbox One.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is going to be it. So I'll get those up in just a
Tough.
second here. Real quick, I want to
DRL.
go ahead and do YouTuber of the week. Who wants to go first? Anybody want to go first, or I could do mine?
Well,
Well, I
I went
gotta
ahead.
pull
I
mine
went
up,
ahead
so-
and mentioned them earlier, so I was going to say Rascal and Sean just celebrated their 100th episode together, and I just wanted to shout them out again. Man, it was a great show last night. If y'all want to watch the replay, watch the replay. If you're not subscribed to Rascal's arcade and basement, guitar, do it. Subscribe to that channel. It's a great channel, dude. Him and Shotgun Sean put on an awesome show every week, and then once a month they do community shows, and then once a month they do where everybody just plays games together. So you can play Mario Kart 8 with everybody, as well as Jackbox party games, and whatever else is free for everybody in the community to play together, man.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I heard that was a good show last night. So
It really
it's in my
was.
replay list, so I haven't had a chance to watch it, but it's definitely gonna. I got some stuff to do at the shop tomorrow, so I'll probably be playing it in the background while I'm doing that. So
I watched it today. It was a good show.
awesome. All right, let's see who else can go for me here. Let me do Stock Jock. Who we got here,
Sure,
my
sure.
friend?
This guy's name is Las Vegas Brett. And
Okay, hold on a second.
I'll be perfectly honest. I found this guy about 35 minutes before the show because I forgot we were supposed to do this. And this guy has a whopping 5.
Actually, he has 6.
6. Let's blow this guy up. What he basically does is he's in the mini arcades. He's done some build-a-cade stuff, but he also he's got a and this is for Jay. He has a there it is a reactor, which is a fun game.
Yeah, I just
He's
added
got
it.
7 now.
Yeah. So let's blow this guy's channel up and just show him what AA can do for this guy. I mean, he's got 5, and he's been doing this for it looks like a couple months. And but he's got a bunch of different little mini arcades that he does. And like I said, some of them are build-a-cades, but some of them not exactly sure where he got them from or if he built them himself. So it's kind of cool stuff. And he goes through the whole history of the games and everything. So blow that guy's channel up and let's get him a bunch of subs there. So
So it is Las Vegas Brett. Or
Las Vegas Brett.
Yeah.
ET.
Yeah. So he's probably going to be like, all right, where did all these subs came from? So
Yeah.
So yeah, but check him out. Sounds like a pretty cool dude. I'll try to, obviously I just sub to him. I will try to check out his videos and whatnot. So it looks like oh yeah. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. Some of them I think he builds himself, and then some of them, like I know 1 or 2 of them were build-a-cades, but this is obviously it's not a build-a-cade because you can tell from the coin door there and everything. So
Yes, sir.
Like a
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're all
Alrighty.
playable. So
Pretty
They're all
cool.
cool
playable.
stuff.
Pretty
I'm
cool.
down.
Pretty cool. Let's see if we can get into 50 subs. So he'll be like, where'd all these people come from? So all right. Let's see here. Who's next in line?
I can go. If you don't mind, I can go. I had a
Yeah.
fella. I think you had mentioned while I was on my little hiatus there. Oki Gaming. This guy, I work from home, and he's on every single day except for Mondays for like 5 hours every morning. And he does a lot of retro games. Right now he's in a PlayStation 2. He's doing a few games. I also, at night, he'll do like modern games. So he's like always on. It's a fun time. And people in the chat are just trying to be funny and just cut up with them. I actually watch it more for the commentary than I do the actual game that he's playing. So He's on his way to try to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you have, anytime where you're just like, hey, I want to play something in the background with people talking and having a good time, Oki's a good place to go to. He's just a great guy to hang out with.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
There's
he's
like
trying
3 or 4 of
to.
them.
Let's see here. Yeah, he's trying to become a full-time YouTuber, and I think that's pretty cool. And he always seems to have good commentaries. So.
Yeah, and he does every Friday is Fan Friday, so he'll play whatever you want. And I made bets with him on how far he get on Galaga 3, and he met all those bets. I said, I'll give you $10 if you got to 50,000, and he got to 50,000. I was like, well, I'll give you $20 if you get to 100,000, and within an hour, the dude got to 100,000, and I'm like, dang, man. I'm not making any more bets against you. So he does well. So it's a great channel. He's a great guy. His Discord too is great. So you can join in there too and talk to him live if you're a member of his channel. You can even go on there and talk to him while he's playing. So it's just a good time.
I wonder where he's from. Like, we're in the state.
I'm sorry?
I wonder where he's from, because like people from Oklahoma are Okies, right? So therefore, like, I wonder where in the state he's from, because I live in Oklahoma. So
I don't know. He says every morning but Monday he does from 7 a.m. To noon is what he does. So for me, it's like 8 a.m. to 1. So I don't know. He might be over that direction.
Central Time, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Check him out.
Alrighty, and then let's see here. We've got Multicade Matt is left on the roster here, and who do we have?
Oh, this isn't game related. These are just friends of mine. We camp them randomly in the truck. So and they do
Nothing
a podcast.
wrong with that.
So they do a podcast as well. It's the Overland podcast. It's Joey and Tony, and so we've camped with them and their family multiple times. So Joey has a Gladiator with a rooftop tent, and Joey has an FJ with a rooftop tent. They live in Arkansas. We've camped with them multiple times. They're just good dudes. So
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Check them out. Do they?
I got an
do they
FJ
talk?
out my driveway, Matt.
Do what?
I got an FJ out in the driveway.
That's right. You got to check out Joey's.
Oh, somebody want to buy it?
Well, they're ridiculously like they're going up in value. They're almost an investment.
I know.
So what is their podcast mainly about? Is it mainly about camping or just general topics?
It's general so based on let's say like anything from like what you eat at food, like camping with food, like rigs based on let's say a rooftop tent, or like we have a glorified camper on the back, and then like modifications, and so there's
Nice.
And then at least once a year they have a camp out where everybody that's listens to their show, we go and we camp with them, and then we have like a couple trail runs for, it's nothing like heavily, like maybe like a 3 or 4 out of a 10, and we just do some trail rides. They're just good people.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
So have you ever popped up in the background of one of their get-togethers, Matt?
Actually, we've been on their show once.
Oh,
That's
nice.
pretty
Nice.
Cool. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
All right. Now, my pick for the week is our good friend to the channel, Andy's Game Room. He's sitting at 67 subs. But the thing that I wanted to bring up the most is I've been praying for Andy a lot these days. He recently lost one of his daughters. And really great guy. And he's been part of our community for a very long time. And he hadn't done any videos recently just because I'm sure he's dealing with a lot. But he's part of my prayer every day. Dude's a really good guy. And obviously, I'd love to see him get up in subs as well and see him making some more content. But if you can, lift him up in your prayers if you can, if your thoughts, if you're not in that kind of daily prayer type thing. But to lose a daughter, I just cannot imagine. And he's a great guy. So Andy, if you're watching on replay or something like that, man, heart goes out to you, my friend. And I know all of us here on the panel we're all friends with you on Facebook. So, we all feel for you, my friends. So, and we're there for you. If you need us for anything, don't hesitate to pick up the phone, call us on whatever. So, but I just wanted to lift him up and showcase him as well because he's just a great guy. So, anyway.
Brighten this day up. Let's go and do some subs for him.
Yeah. He deserves to have more subs than 76, and he does really, really cool content. So maybe one day he'll get back into it, but right now just wanted to lift him up more than anything. So, alrighty. Well, that's my YouTuber of the week. We had a bunch of great YouTubers, so check them out. We'd love to get them up to higher numbers for sure. So, alrighty. Now, let's see here. What else we got going on? I need to put that poll in the chat, but let me look here at something that I needed to do. All right, next thing I wanted to talk about was just the sheer awesomeness of Wonderland this week. Man, they killed it. They absolutely killed it. So before we get into the main topic tonight, I'd like to kind of go around the horn and just give your thoughts and feelings about what Wonderland did this week. So anybody want to kind of start me off and tell me what you're thinking?
Wow, 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, Todd, I was impressed that you got in there at number 13 when I felt like I was the one that was like texting y'all and saying, it went live early.
Mm-hmm.
And then I checked my backer number last night. Apparently I'm 44th.
Yeah, I was 25.
He got 13th, and I got 44th. What the hell? How did I get in there so slow?
Man.
But it was so awesome to see because we met these guys in Chicago, and we know their background. Like some of them are from Arcade 1-Up, some of them are from New Wave Toys, and we met them when we met Peter in Cleveland when he was with New Wave Toys. We met Jerry and Peter in Chicago for Wonderland Amusements. So it's kind of like we know a little bit more about them. And I doubt they'll know us personally or if they'll see us in a future con or whatever. And they'll be like, oh, what's up, Chaotic? I remember you. Yeah, I doubt it. But, it's really awesome to see these guys grow. And then see the success that they got, like instantly, like instant gratification for them to hit their Kickstarter goal. I don't know, man. I just felt like I was part of that team, and I just felt like I was part of the celebration and everything. That was my first ever Kickstarter I ever participated in, and it felt really good for them to be successful.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, very, very happy for guys like that. I mean, they obviously, Jerry's had his issues with past things going on, and so to see him come out, looks like hit a home run. And he was a nice guy when we were in Chicago. He talked with us. It was very nice talking with us. Even he had a cast on his leg, didn't he? When we saw him.
Yep.
He sure did.
Yeah. He was hobbling around, and it's a nice. I did not back it. I was very close. I actually I was ready to, I was on a job site, and I saw these guys saying everything about, it's going. I'm like, I pulled it up, and I literally was just supposed to hit the button. But just something inside, I was like, I've got this beast behind me. And it's like, it'd be a step down. But I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see some play on it, and if it looks good, then because it's I got a month, right, to jump in.
Yes, sir.
So I'm still saying I'm not saying no to it. But I'm extremely happy for those guys. They seem like a good bunch of guys.
Yeah. And the $50 shipping was like, holy crap! Like
exactly.
How the hell did y'all knock that out? we were all thinking at least $200,
Yeah.
and then tax on top. We're like, oh man, that's going to be $1,000, and that's going to be like, oh, I don't know if I really want to swing that. But when you got the $7.99 plus the $50 shipping, I was like, yes, I can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure those guys, did a lot of negotiating and stuff like that with the shipper and made it happen. They put the effort in, and I definitely applaud them for that, because I think that's what they heard from the community too, was shipping's going to be crazy, and I think they kind of stepped up and made sure that it was a fair price for sure. So. Matt, any thoughts? I know you put your pre-order in. I put mine in.
I did.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. It sounds cheesy. There's the robots cartoon. Remember, he's like, see a need, feel a need. Like, there is a need for affordable pinball, and nobody was brave enough to do it, and they did it, and they crushed it. So therefore, with all the success, the odds of them making another one is going to be higher and higher and higher. So if you don't like this IP, then there's a decent chance they're going to make something that you like. And then just to state the obvious, like, real pinball versus virtual pinball is, whether it be smaller or not, it's still real pinball. So I am stoked. So I'm glad it worked out for them, and they were great dudes, like you said. We met them in Chicago, had a great conversation with them. They gave us little like wooden token things. We got their business card just to say hi. Yeah, they were just everything, but they were accommodating for us. They was rude based on just handful of couple hundred subs and dorky dudes discussing stuff. So yeah, I wish them the best.
Yeah, and they also shouted out Arcades Anonymous on their Kickstarter page, saying that they were featured on.
We were at the top. We were at that top.
Yeah, we are the header.
Well, I think we were the first people to talk to them, weren't we?
We were.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, we were the first people to talk to them, I think. So,
especially on camera, I think. I know that people probably came to the booth, but as far as home arcade, we were the first guys there, Yeah, I remember that day too. You guys said I was overexcited when I got to that booth and dragged everybody over. Yeah, I'm excited. I got in at the $7.99, and I like that topper. I know I probably could get a better one from someone in the community, but I like the topper. I'm not putting any shade on that. I thought the cover was a good idea too, so I went ahead and got the cover, and then for that little extra money to get those free those 3D printed stuff for the playfield, I felt like that was worth it too. So I think mine came out to like $1,200 and something with shipping and all that, because I'm paid a little bit more for the shipping for that other stuff. So
Yes,
I was pretty happy. I was thinking about getting that one that was the exclusive, the Braun accent one. I just couldn't justify the $1,800 for it, even with all the stuff you got. But
no, because you could literally get two pinballs for the same price as a special one.
I mean, if you really wanted to, man, you could find somebody like a paint shop to like powder coat you some legs and lockdown bars.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. There's got to be somebody in the community that would probably be willing to do it. I don't know. Sure, we've got plenty of painters or whatnot in the community that might be willing to do it if I really wanted to do it. But I think the machine's going to be fine the way it is. So I'm really looking forward to it. Talking Q4 when it ships out. So pretty excited.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Any thoughts?
Go ahead.
Well, just to show like the community's excitement for this, not only did they fund it in 2 minutes, but yesterday, whenever we were on Open Fridge, me and Brian, it was at about $400,000 backed, and right now it's almost at $500,000 backed. In one day, they had a whole another $100,000 back to them. So it's definitely getting a lot of response. So that is awesome for them.
Yeah. Dr. Torque, I don't think the cover will go on with the topper. That was another thing I was thinking about. Maybe I wanted to buy it because. Go ahead,
Todd. Somebody did ask them that, and they said they will accommodate for that. They were going to go back to see if they can accommodate for that.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, it's almost the same size as one of the arcade 1-ups, if not almost
It's
dead
bigger.
exact.
It's almost. I did a measurement with the tape measure, and it was almost like the exact same size as my ALP, like
Yes.
within like half an inch.
So if the cover, it's not a deal breaker for me. It was only $49 for that cover, and I'm not gonna sit there and say, you know, some people don't want toppers, some people want a community topper, but for that kind of money, I wasn't gonna argue with it. I think for a nice, well made cover for $49 is a deal. So, and I can put it on another machine.
While you were
if I need to put it
while you were
something else, I
talking,
will.
while you were talking, someone else backed it. It went over 500,000, guys, live right now. It's over 500,000.
Wow, I
That's
wish
awesome.
Just push it over.
I
Yeah.
had a good video that we could celebrate, but all I can do is just clap.
That's a sell
and say,
for us.
Yeah,
That's good. So use Pac-Man sheets. Yeah,
There you go.
There's tons of ways.
Use
you
that
can
when you talk to those guys, get them on the show. Use that as a selling point. We got you over 500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You hit 500,000 live on our show.
exactly.
we
We're
did
like,
Yes.
live. Yeah.
yeah. We're like Jerry Lee Lewis.
So-
Like it's a sell-a-thon. We got
That's
this.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got you there. But I mean, to imagine that in a short amount of time they were able to hit and just crush that goal is just insane to me. It just like Matt said a little earlier, they saw a need and they hit it on the mark. So I'm excited.
October, right? It was October when they came out with it, right? October.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they've done a lot of
You
good
were
work
Chicago.
since then. It's been nose to the grind on that for sure. Yeah, Glenn's Kickstarter. Let's hope that Glenn's has that too. We'll just have to see how that plays out. So, any final thoughts on them, real quick? Yeah, 100 in a day is just crazy for sure. So, any final thoughts on Wonderland? I know we're going to cover them a little bit here after we get through once we start, but any final thoughts on that before we move on?
And we could like pipe dream a little bit, right? Like they're shooting
Yeah.
for like not non-trademark IPs, right? Because it's easy on the budget.
Yeah.
Is there any
Yeah.
like non-trademark, IPs that people would like to see on a pinball?
Yeah, put it on the chat if you're interested. We're hoping that we can talk to them probably after the campaign. But yeah, like to see what you guys are thinking. Cammy says King Kong. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Mhm.
Anybody in the panel have a good idea?
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some other Grimm's tales that they could probably do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Or like Peter
Yeah.
Pan, I think would be dope. But to me, it's family friendly and depends on the artist. Yeah. Oh, somebody's a Popeye. Is Popeye
Yeah.
trademark?
Gamer Friend said Popeye. That's pretty cool.
It's not trademark.
Yeah.
No.
I think they just
Okay.
lost it. I think it went into the what's it called? The public domain, like
Yes,
here
sir.
recently.
Yeah,
Popeye
public
did.
domain, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did Steamboat Willie or Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
the
Really?
public domain, too.
Nightmare Before Christmas. That would be a good one, like a Halloween type themed one. I think that'd be pretty.
But you remember when we were there and we were interviewing them, if Peter said if this is successful, they want to try and go for Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm 100% behind that. I would buy that immediately.
Yeah.
That costs
Yeah.
a fortune, though, don't you think? I mean,
I mean, they would
yeah.
probably have to raise the price, and they would have to probably up their game too, and see what they could do in the smaller form factor.
Mhm.
But be able to
So
add
that's
like
a good
kind of like
question
rumble
before we move
motors
on.
or
right.
Yeah. Before we
tilt
move on
knobs
to the
and all kinds of
next,
stuff.
yeah, before we actually move on to the next thing, what would be your like top dollar for this for what we've seen so far? If it came out in Star Wars and it's everything that this one is, just Star Wars themes, what would be your top dollar that you'd give for this thing? I'm going to start out and say I would love it to see around 15 to 1800. I don't think they could. I don't think it would push it to 2000 unless the license fees are that high.
It
No.
shouldn't be.
I would shoot for 1200.
I would. That's
I think
where
1200 is a fair number too.
I'd say 1200 too.
Likewise.
But I think we'll have to see. We'll have to probably. You have to going to wait to see what are they going to charge for this thing once this Kickstarter's done too, because now we're probably
Yeah.
going to be talking probably $1,000, especially with all the tariff costs coming in. So this thing's going to probably push $1,000.
Yeah.
I know he wants to stay under, but things are out of his control now, I think,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I would think that
$200 licensing fee.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's a flat rate.
Yeah.
And maybe we just gave them the flat rate with this Kickstarter. Maybe we gave them enough money to at least get that ball rolling. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
But Ridge Dello says 1,200 is a sweet spot. I think we could be happy with a 1,200 price point on this table.
Yeah.
For an IP, yes, like the trademark IP.
Yeah. All right. Any fun? All right. Well, tonight's topic. Tonight's topic, we're talking about, because of Wonderland's success, we're talking about pinballs in general, and these are more geared kind of for the home arcade side of it, looking at all the tables that are out there right now, and kind of really saying, hey, what is the best in comparing them all together? What's the pros? What's the cons? And obviously, we're going to start with probably the one that everybody kind of started the ball rolling, I think, that is the At Games HD. So I want to kind of go around the horn and see what you guys think is your pros and cons. And I know that I guess the best way I could is that, you don't have to tell me how you truly feel about it, but I do want to know some thoughts and feelings on it without going.
What are you
crazy.
trying to say,
Does that
Todd?
make sense? What am I trying to say? I don't know.
Should Brian disclose?
Yeah, it's not a speculation.
I
Though.
don't know what
It's
to
an
do.
opinion. Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and disclose it, guys. Yes, I do work for At Games as an independent contractor, but my opinions are of my own. This is not a sponsored video, therefore I can say whatever I really want to. But the reason why
Thank you, Brian.
the reason why I'm bringing up this page right now is because At Games, I found out last night on Rascal's show that At Games has signed a partnership with the International Flipper Pinball Association. And what that is basically they take your Flipper Friends tournament scores.
Yes, sir.
And they rank you. Wow. So if you look at this list right here, it's pretty much the same people are on the back glass of every single one of these pinball tables on here now. Mad Ben Han's number 1, Tomato Grass is number 2. But I mean, you got all the people that are in the community. Papa Brad's number 9. I've been kind of sticking out of the daggone tournaments, and I've been playing much lately.
Yeah.
But, so I'm down to number 38.
What?
Ooh. Number 38.
Why is he on our show, Todd? Why is he on the show? I mean, I thought we had to
get out. Yeah.
I know, right? But it's kind of cool that this website of tournament fame, I mean, this is what B Kong does now. B Kong partners with this website, and he is an official what's it called? The pinball tournament hoster. He hosts tournaments.
Yeah.
So what At Games sounds like they're thinking about doing is eventually finding a space like a bar or a restaurant or something like that, having 5 or 6 of the At Games machines side by side and doing tournaments inside of restaurants and having somebody host them.
Wow.
Which is awesome. So that is now
awesome.
virtual pinball is being recognized as a actual tournament setting in different places. So it's up there with Stern and Jersey Jack now. You can do world championships with this. So I just thought that was really, really, really cool that they have a partnership now with them.
It'd be cool if they would partner with Dave and Buster's or someplace that has digital games and the space for large crowds.
Yeah. That'd be.
Didn't I also
cool.
hear him say something too about Chicago as well, that they would probably throw a tournament in there as well? Did he say that last night? I thought he did. Yeah. So that's a cool thing. The Chicago Fin Fest.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think it's really cool because they're actually talking about doing it at cons, like next year's Chicago Pinball Expo. They're going to
Yes, sir.
have tournaments
Yeah.
at that, and they're actually going to give away prizes and money and have like a trophy celebration and everything. It's like
That's pretty cool.
That's the plan that they're having, and I think that's really cool because now you actually have a commercial or like a home arcade product that anybody can buy, participate in these tournaments, and be able to win stuff, be good, get really good at it.
Yes, sir. Get
Pretty
good.
cool. That's cool.
All right. So, the Legends Pinball HD. So, what's the pros?
Oh, cost of
Affordable.
entry. Yeah, cost of entry. Period.
Yeah, cost and entry is pretty good. I think
Mods.
the ability to mod this thing is just so great. I mean, we all know that everybody doesn't like the side art. Majority of people don't like the side art. Some people do, but you can make this to anything you want. And it's just such an awesome entry point type level for some people, just to get into the virtual pinball. So, any cons? What's the cons of this?
You have sometimes you can have server issues.
Yeah,
Having to take tables offline. Now I know the HD has a lot of issues, and I see people in chat talking about it, where it will not stay logged in. Like you constantly have to log back into it. The 4K doesn't have that issue. I don't know what it is with that software, that front end software that they did with the 4K and the new HDs that came out, the ALUs. That new 4K software, you never have to log in. It stays logged in.
Yeah, another issue. My father-in-law, he has one of these, and he wanted to put more tables on it. And the fact you can't buy the tables on the machine, you have to go to this website and you have to order on there. You have to log into the actual pinball, and then you have to try and find where to download it. It's like he finally was just like he gave up on it. He was like, I'll just play what they already have installed because that's just a little bit too complicated for him to figure out how to get around all that stuff. So with the 4K, you just can put in your information and just order it right there on the machine.
Yep.
So they fixed it, but it was definitely a con when it came to the HD.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And actually, I don't hate the website. I don't hate anything about, because I can typically I'll be at work and I'll be like, maybe I should buy some pinball tables. So I'll be sitting there and I'll go through and buy whatever tables I want. That way, when I come home, turn on the machine, I can go to my digital locker on my 4KP and buy whatever I want, or load whatever I want. And I know that's not the same with the HD, but I've never had an issue with the website. It's never been, but some people do. I get that for sure. 15-inch backglass, no D&D, 900 is too close. It's better just to save up for the much better experience. Just wait a little longer. Yeah,
correct.
But what if you could buy one secondhand for $400 or $500?
Yep.
Now we're talking about, is it worth it? And then I know what was a few shows. Did we do it during the show or was it after the show? I can't remember. When we pulled up all their stuff and started looking at it, that got me really, really excited about.
Yes, sir.
About the HD, about the things you can do to it. There we go.
Buy stuff.
They'll show up.
Buy stuff.
So within, I would love if you're in the chat, buy stuff. What is your what's the word I want to use here? What's your thoughts and feelings on the HD? Because I think the HD has been a very big moneymaker for you guys. And I know you've done some 4KP stuff, right? They've done just generic mods to it. I don't think they've done anything aggressive.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious what their thought of the HD is. So love to know about stuff if you're in the chat watching. But But remember, like that one that's down the road from me for like 350. It's hard for me to like, and it's still available. And it's like, man, I just want to go get the guy $350 and give this pinball a home. You know, it can be the one that I mod and leave my other one kind of basic. You know, but yeah. Let's see what else on it. We know we said this in the thing, but you know, is it still a good buy? I think value wise, maybe used, but maybe not at the current retail price. Is that a fair assumption?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
when you compare it to
Yeah.
the 4K, the 4K is way better value compared
Yes.
to this
I'll agree
and
with
what
that.
it can do.
I'll agree with that.
I was fortunate enough to get it at Sam's Club for $200, and that it was well worth the $200.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
No doubt. No doubt.
Oh, that's true. Zero redux, right? So the actuators in the control panel, they go mer mer mer, right, on the original HD.
And they
That's
did it
true.
on the 4K too. It's just they're super cheap. They're $15.
Yeah.
And they're tiny little circles, but yeah, they're glued on by some cheap little it's not even glue, it's paper. It's like tape.
Yes, sir.
And they will fall off, they will break. If you really want them to stay put. Like I've seen some people actually take was it Dayton
The Dayton
exciters?
exciters. Yep.
Replace it with those and glue them down and never had a problem since.
Hmm. Yeah, they're I would call them like a knockoff of a Dayton, right? So they're just trying to make it as cost effective as they can. I would say another for me, long term, like it's a little short for me. Like you play it for about an hour, and after that, your back is done. I mean, you can get bigger legs, but it's a little short.
Yeah, I had to end up
Now,
whenever I had
wouldn't
one
you say
buying
that the 4K is slightly taller though.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, the 4K definitely is
Oh, yeah.
taller. I had to buy the Sega legs, is that
Oh,
what
yes,
they
sir.
were for the
Yes, sir.
HD to get it to rise up some, and it still was taller at the lowest setting on the 4K than the tallest setting on the Sega legs. So yeah, it's definitely taller.
So I think Thumper Squid it makes a good point here. Some of
True.
those long vertical games that you can play
Yep.
Yeah.
on it with
the-
corn ops.
the corn-
That was another benefit I think too for me was some of just because you have that 32-inch screen like it is, some of those vertical games is fun on that long screen. Just
Yeah.
my opinion.
They-
I know it may be a little
they just-
stretched, I guess, but
And they just unlocked the ability that you can do it on 4KP really well too with the retro player or whatever.
Mhm.
They updated
Awesome.
in the last firmware or whatever so that you can actually play games with it.
There you go.
The UC file. What do you call it?
Yeah.
UC
UC
file.
file. Yep.
Yeah. So now you can do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Detroit Love in the house. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing
What's
very
up?
well. Yeah.
Yeah, Crawl's looking good, man. He's the incredible shrinking man right now. He's
Yeah.
Oh,
crushing
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love that little switch pinball thing he has, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's constantly sold out. I can never get my hands on one.
It's really cool. That thing is sweet.
Yes, we are talking about was it Whopper with
The Whopper edition. Yep.
yeah.
Yes,
Thank you,
vertical.
Jason. Thank you, Jason, for making that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Detroit Love. I think At Games needs to relook at this one and see if they can. I know that they're making them and whatnot. Maybe one day that price will go down to a more
It's been sold out
efficient.
for about 4 months. So I don't know if they're discontinuing the HD or if
Yes,
they're going
sir.
to make another version of it. Or if I think really they need to focus on the 4KP now because of how valuable it is compared to the HD at that price.
Yeah.
No, I'll agree with you on that. That the price difference is just too much. No, like I said, if you can pick something up $350 on an HD, maybe it's probably worth it then.
Yes, sir.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Let's see here. Trying to get the next one up. Any final thoughts on the HD before I move on to the next one?
I know we had a
If
lot
it
of
will-
negative to say about it, but I still think it's great. Like it's a great machine,
It's a
for
good
the
entry
time that it
point,
came
right?
out. Yeah.
Compared
I know
to
we
the
had more
arcade one
cons.
up, it's a good entry
I was just
point.
going to say that, Brian. Compared to the
Oh,
one
yeah.
up, it had to have been better.
Oh yeah. It was miles ahead of the arcade one up one, so it was good for its time for sure.
Oh
Sure.
boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, let's see here. Trying to get this thing going, and it always just So the next one in is, of course, the Wonderland, which just did the Kickstarter. And let's see here. Maybe I can get this to come up nicely for me. Yeah. Let's see if it's got a better view. Look at that. God, it's so beautiful. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see.
And I'm also glad they changed the back glass, like, because she was a little creepy looking. And
Yeah,
so-
she
Yeah.
was.
For sure.
Yeah. I think version
Let's-
3, she looks good now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, I'm sure I could share more photos than this, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And I'll swap out the poll here in just a second, Jay,
Yes, sir.
for you. But Wonderland. So I have to ask the question. I know, what, 3 of us of this panel have ordered it or done the pre-order for it. But
And then
what's
Carl
the
did.
pros and cons of this? And I know we haven't physically got it yet, so there may be some things that we can't, know until we actually have it. But I just want to get your thoughts, your feelings on it as we sit past the Kickstarter.
I say pros is it's a beautiful looking machine. Like the guy hit the mark, I think, with the artwork on it. And for a small playfield, I think they put a lot on there for the playfield for what there is. There's enough stuff on there for you to do, it seems.
Yeah. You talk about replay value. There's going to be obviously new code coming out that they'll be able to give us down the road. So I don't think it's going to be a table that you're going to get bored with pretty easily. That's just my opinion. What's your thoughts on that? Go ahead.
So, I mean, they got the size right.
Mhm.
Artwork's good. And the playfield's beautiful too. Like I like how it just lights up. They got different stuff to do. They've already named out the modes,
Yep.
and the stuff to do. And now it's just the biggest concern that I think 99% of us all have is the code, the game code, the call outs, the music. We know nothing. We know nothing about how it's going to work, how the DMD is going to work. Is there animations? Is it fully animated? Hopefully, it's just all that's unknown. Like we saw where it was counting up while Jerry was playing it, and the DMD was themed and everything like it should be. But then you also saw where it said animation 1 running and it just had that text on the screen. So obviously
Yes,
the code
sir.
wasn't there. But, it's like, is there going to be voiceovers? Is there going to be call outs? Is there, what's the music going to be like? How loud is it going to be?
Does it have a volume? Right, we don't know. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then of course, the front panel, I think the plunger's fine. Like a stock plunger's fine. Glad they offered the brass
An upgrade.
door
Keyboard.
handle. That's
Yeah.
cool. But I do not like how there is the power on and off button, and there's a little directional pad and 2 joystick buttons. Like, can we make it look like a real coin door?
Yeah.
Can
That's real
you
cheap.
start game mode by pushing in a coin door like slot? Can you move the power button down to the bottom of the cabinet like a regular pinball machine, or like the 4KP is?
Where is the power button at, Brian? By the way, where is
It's
it?
on that front panel with the where
Okay,
the
right
coin
in the
door
front panel.
is.
Okay, so there's a little switch, toggle switch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I would like to see that go to the bottom of the machine on the front, like the 4KP. I would like for those coin door. I would like for it to be a coin door slot, and to start a game or hit the other slot to do options. or go through the different options. But the button number 1, I would like for that to be like the play button, to go ahead and start play. So that's my suggestion.
I already told you my biggest worry on the whole thing was just the speed of play with that small ball. To me, it's a little worrisome. That's why I want to see somebody actually, because it already looked a little quick, even when they were playing it. But with that smaller ball, it just seems like to me it's just going to really fly around that table. Not that that's a total deal killer, but I just want to see how much it is affected by that smaller ball. But there's other things that Brian brought out too. That coin door was just hideous. I hope it doesn't look as cheap as when they showed it looking, in the original version, because it looked cheap too, just plastic basically. But
yeah, it looks like a toy.
$800, what you're buying it for? I mean,
yeah.
Yep.
So I understand that we're going to have some caveats to that.
Right.
But I would like them to see what they can do for that. Maybe move the power button, and I don't see why that would cost so much, right? So, is the playfield glass? Is that going to be glass, or is that going to be plexi?
Yeah.
Is that going to be like the Arcade 1-Up, or is that going to be more like the 4KP? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. How available are parts going to be? How expensive are parts going to be?
Yeah. They said that the shop, the thing was going to that the store was going to be open day 1, but they really didn't say what day 1 was going to be. Is that when they start shipping? Is that going to be before then? Because obviously we're going to have to have a website to order parts, and then we're going to have to figure out how are they going to keep up with scores? How are they going to display scores? Is it going to be an app? Is it going to be something that we're going to be able to log in and look at, as a group? I
bet it's
a lot of questions. They, even Arcade 1-Up had an app, not necessarily for scores. Well, I guess it was for scores, but I just want to see, more of the other side of it as well.
Yeah, and totally agree, Rich Rodello. You can always go to a shop and get glass cut for it. I mean, hell, I would love to see them offer glass as an upgrade here in the States, because they're based out of Philadelphia. I mean, go ahead and have some upgrades available for that too. Oh,
yeah.
There's a lot of questions that we have, and
yes, sir.
I appreciate.
Yeah,
they kept their promises.
Yep.
All of their promises, pretty much. We're guaranteeing it's going to be under $1,000. We're guaranteeing that it's going to have like multi-ball, and it's going to have ramps and pop bumpers and all this stuff. And we're guaranteeing it's going to be 80%, the size of a real pinball machine.
Yeah.
And we're guaranteeing that we're going to start this Kickstarter on March 11th, and they've delivered on everything.
Everything.
So it's it's like, okay, I feel like I can trust y'all. But the moment y'all break my heart.
Yeah.
And also, they kind of
good.
There's so the side artwork is gorgeous now, right? And then also they include something for free. The inside skirts normally for the large pinballs, it's extra to have that, right? And they didn't. That wasn't a part of their upgrades. They just included in the $7.99 price. And so there's some things they could have nickel dime people away, but they didn't.
No.
It's like all the fine details. They really thought all this stuff out. They got really, really smart about it. And they're also keeping us up to date monthly about here's the progress that we got. What do y'all think? Oh yeah, so y'all think we should change this? Okay, well we'll definitely come back to you on that. I mean, they listen to you about the artwork. They listen to you about everything. Alice's zombie face, they got rid of that.
Yep.
I mean, they are totally. I love when a company like this is like, hey, we need to be able to get all y'all support on this. What do you think?
Yeah.
And they're coming back with us and say, what do you think of it now? Perfect. What else can we fix?
Yeah.
And we all held that 22 millimeter ball in Chicago it had some good weight to it.
It did. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and it is considerably smaller than a standard pinball, but
Yeah,
you know,
but
it's
it was
not-
like they knew they needed they were going to make it smaller. They knew they needed to put a little more density in it and give it that feel of a bigger ball.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because the play field's going to be shrunk. They need the ball to shrink so that
Yes,
it can
sir.
feel like a real full size pinball table, according
Yeah.
to the pinball size.
So I think we
You know,
can
and-
all agree that the value for it right now, where it stands, is good. You know, they came out with
Yeah.
a $7.99 for 200 units, $8.49 right now is still a good value on this,
It still
and
is.
they've
It
done the
still is.
shipping well.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I like what B. Kirby said there, by the way, too, which is he said something about, you know, V-Pin's great, but there's nothing like having a real pin, a real pinball in front of you. I mean, I've got one behind me, and it's hands down a way different experience.
And
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a lot of people, this is going to be a gateway drug for you.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to real pinball, you're like, okay, this is cool,
Mhm.
but if I spend $5,000, I get a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for
Yeah, 'cause-
sure.
Yeah, because for this given price point, for the full size, you're having a basket case, right? You have like some sort of like we had that show where we had tried to find affordable real pinball, and like they were all
Yeah.
gross, and who
Yeah.
was it? His name slipped my mind. The gentleman that's in Chicago that has all of the pinballs in his basement.
Oh God, I forgot his name.
Yeah, it's on
His
the
real
tip of
name.
my tongue,
His
too.
real name is Brandon, but I can't
Yeah.
remember his calling me. Anyway, like you basically get trash, you know, for a full size pinball for $800, and now we're gonna have a gorgeous
Yeah.
functioning pinball machine.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
Well, you
I was
get-
looking at the
It's six,
to-
and that's
not
the
to
same.
enter-
Sorry.
Go ahead.
not to interject, but I was looking at the comments here on the Kickstarter, and Wonderland does confirm it's plexiglass with an anti-scratch coating.
Sweet.
Good.
That's
Okay.
what they're putting on there. Yeah.
All right,
so-
By the way,
So-
Matt, you buy an $800 real pinball, you're going to be loading a ton of money into that thing to get it up to
Yep.
snuff.
That's a
Yep.
good segue. That's a good segue, Galaga guy. So, what's the modding potentials from what we see right now? If this machine shipped out the way we're seeing it now, what would be some of those mods that we would do to this? Obviously, glass. If it was a plexi and it had a terrible glare on it or something that we couldn't stand for, we'd be switching all over to glass, right? For sure.
Glass.
What's some other modding potential? Yeah, you know, like I said, I ordered a topper. I guess you know, Zero Redux. You probably don't like the topper, and that's understandable. It's not for everybody. It's kind of creepy. I just enjoy it. So
like,
it
what
look
if?
good on the machine lit up? So,
Yeah. So what if you didn't like the Mad Hatter? What if you wanted a Chester Cat?
Correct. That would be dope. Right.
yeah,
Oh, the cat would have been way better for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that would have been so cool.
yeah.
Especially if
Sounds
he
like-
was like at the top of the machine looking down at you. I mean, I think
Mhm.
that's kind of cool. Kind of like what Dutch Pinball did with their
Mhm.
Alice in Wonderland
Yes,
pinball
sir.
theme table.
Yeah.
Maybe not as scary because that thing follows the ball with its eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like,
you know,
Go ahead. I was like Hockey Town, like an LED matrix, like let's say a small screen. You could do like pup packs.
Yeah,
Like that would be
that'd be
ridiculous.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if Wonderland could find some way to have some kind of code available for, say, the modding community to play on, in other words, like have an interactive topper with the code.
Yeah.
If they made it available to do that, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
They've got so many options as a company like this to put all those, like they already did with their topper and with the
Good to
3D
see you,
printed. Yeah.
What's up, buddy? We were just shouting you out.
Yeah, we shouted you
Yeah,
out earlier,
Oki's
my
here.
friend. So glad you're
That's
here.
awesome. But just their storefront. They could have a good, decent storefront of putting stuff out for this thing as well. But
Yes,
I think you're right. The community is going to go nuts on this thing. I can see like guys like Angel coming out with great looking toppers and buy stuff coming out for stuff. I mean, this thing is going to really do well, I think, for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Lights.
I'll just I just want to say one more thing. Let's say when it come November, they ship this thing. We don't like it, right? It plays too fast. It feels too much like a toy. What do you think the resale value? What do you think the resale value on this thing would be?
I still think you're going to get probably 700, even if you paid the $799. I think people are going to definitely pick this up
because it's a real pinball machine. You could sell it as a real pinball machine.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to get 1,200 or something like that unless you deck it out.
You don't want to get more than what you paid for it. I think you should be able to get what you paid for.
Right.
And I think the resale value on it for that would be that good.
I think so too.
Because once it comes out in retail stores, it's going to be $1,000 or more. Mm-hmm. You paid $850 for it. You should be able to get $800 back for it, I would think.
Yes, sir.
And I think the resale value will stay high on this because technically it is a real pinball machine.
Yeah.
It's more like a Zezel or a Zizzle, whatever you call it. But I think I could still think you could still break even if this thing comes out in November and you're like, I'm tired of it already. I want to go back to virtual pinball. Then, I don't think you're going to lose that much money out. Not like an arcade one-up where, you paid $600, $700 for it. You try to put it on marketplace for $500, and they're like, "Will you take $100 for it?"
Yeah, Cammy's right.
I wanted to bring up
better. So
there you go, Cammy. Cammy knows what's up.
Yeah.
And two, I wanted to bring up this is Matt. He talked about too filling that need, and it's kind of like the arcade one-ups. It's like we always wanted to have an arcade in our house, but they were too big, too expensive, too much work. And this is exactly the same thing, but with pinballs. It's like, hey, I want a real pinball, but they're really expensive. They're a lot of maintenance. So this is definitely, I think, a great alternative. That's definitely a huge pro for the machine itself. So people who have been wanting one, now they can get an affordable one that hopefully plays great.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue because going to the next one is, of course, Arcade 1-Up. So I know.
So
do we want to, without tearing this thing absolutely apart?
Well, the pros they are gorgeous, right? Their aesthetics are top notch, right?
They aesthetically pleased us, yes, for sure.
Yes.
So we can give them that.
Did they sell well? Does anyone know? Did they sell well?
I think they did.
Yeah. I think they obviously.
Then they jacked the price up. But yeah.
Look, I got my Attack from Mars Arcade 1-Up. That was the first ever virtual pin I ever owned. I got it for $400 from Kohl's. 2 Christmases ago, I think.
Yes, sir.
And for what it was, I enjoyed it. It was 720p. Was not HD or anything like that. But from what the build quality of it, for what it was, for my first ever V-Pin, I enjoyed the crap out of it. And the fact that Mystery Encoder and the Team Encoder brought out the pinner mod, where you could add all the Arcade 1-Up tables to it, and you could also add the app tables to it. That was cool. But I still stuck with the native tables that I had on my Attack from Mars because they ran the best to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun for what it was, and it got me more interested to be like, okay, they make people. At Games is going to make a better one than this. I'm going to jump on that. Jumped on it. Now it's like I love my 4KP. If somebody comes out with something better, what do I make the jump up from there, or do I make the jump to real pinball?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a jumping force. This was a good entry point for me because that's what made me buy the 4KP. I was like, I'm definitely buying the 4KP now.
It was the gateway drug.
It was the gateway drug. Yes.
Yeah. And I still own 2 of these. I still have the Marvel and the Star Wars. I haven't let them go. So, I don't know. The pros of it, it was an easy machine to build. It was an easy machine to buy. I think I got in, $5.99, I think is what I paid for both of them. So, each. But And my daughter loves both of them. She loved the Marvel tables. She loved the Star Wars tables that are on there, and it got her addicted to the actual pinball. So,
yeah.
And they hold their value well. Like if you find them used, there's still people trying to sell them for roughly about $400.
$400.
and I mean, you're looking at them right here. I don't know. I didn't click on these to see, but obviously, Star Wars is cheap or cheaper, $430 versus the others that are $550. So, whether or not they're still available or whatnot, I don't know. I could definitely click on those links. Yeah, add to cart. It says so. I'm assuming you can still get them if you choose to. So,
And if you're thinking about it from like from an average consumer, if you're looking for a virtual pinball for whatever reason, you have the HD, which is $900, or you have these, which is $430 or $500, whatever it is. So I mean, it's an option. Some people they don't really mind; they just want a virtual pinball for whatever reason. So
and this is the way that you can get into Zen tables too. I mean, those Pinball FX3 versions of the tables, but they still played good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I have a question because I think Chaotic, you had one. Galaga Guy, did you ever have one?
I had all three.
No way.
You had 3.
Oh,
and
man.
then Decade Matt, did you have?
No, sir.
You didn't have any of these. Okay. So my question to you, if space wasn't an issue, you had tons of room, you didn't have to sell anything, you had millions of square feet of space, would you have kept these? Would you have kept them even though they weren't the best as far as graphics and all that?
Well,
so
I want to say no because, like I said, I feel like I made an upgrade. But then again, it's like, well, I got kids too, and it was more of their size because it was much smaller than the 4KP.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably would have kept it for my kids so that they can play while I play on the bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no. Like to me, it's like, I don't know. I've gotten into the mindset now where it's like I'd rather have like 5 real pinball machines than any of them.
Yeah.
If I had
for me,
unlimited
I
space.
think if I had unlimited space, and let's say I could only afford these, like I probably would have kept them. Just for like Calic was saying, it definitely is aesthetically pleasing to see them all lined up there. So when people came into the Boilercade, like that was the first thing they saw is all these like virtual pinballs. So it looked really cool, and the average person didn't care. They're not sitting there like, oh, this is only 720. Oh, this is not the right. Like they didn't care. They're just like, oh, look, it's a pinball, and they'd sit there and they play it. So I'd probably would have kept it just for people coming over or like kids or whatever. But like I would never have played them. Like once I got the HD and the 4KP, it's like they just mostly sat there for if people came over to play. That's the reason why I would keep them around.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So obviously there was a lot of mods that we did to that. We discussed that as well. And tons of ways you could have made these machines a little bit better. But was it worth the mod time or not? I don't know. I would say if we had to like rate them, out of the 5 machines or so that it probably wouldn't be a top one, just because of that, unfortunately. But I would tell you though, if I saw an Attack from Mars for a couple $100 that's in good working order, I'd probably buy it just to kind of have all 3 of them lined up. Just like Galaga Guy said, they look cool all lined up and on and look, like a pinball bar would look like. But I don't know if I'd spend $500 or $600 on a new one. If I could get it dirt cheap, I probably would, just to say I have one.
And you remember the issues that they had too, where the PCB was overheating. My screen went out, like it had a crack in the screen for no reason, and it was because that the PCB got so hot, and it's hooked to the back of the screen. So in that spot, it cracked the screen because it got so hot.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
I decased all mine too. As soon as I started hearing about that, I
Yep.
opened them all up and decased them because that was
Yep.
a known issue. It's awful.
You cased
Yeah.
mine. I never had an issue after I replaced the screen.
Yeah, one of my 2 pieces. Yep, that's true. I did want to say one thing though. When I went on to Arcades Anonymous website, it confirms that you're 18 years or older. Can you believe that? You have to be 18 years older to visit their website. So I don't know what that's
Arcade
Whose
One Up?
website?
Arcade One Up?
Up. Yep, it
Oh.
asks you if you're
Okay.
over 18. So don't know what's
Oh.
going on with that.
Well, you never know what kind of ads might pop up on their site.
Sure, you didn't go to
I don't know.
arcade1up.xxx.
No. That was
It's a
the
family
website
show.
I just had it up. So yeah.
Just
Alrighty.
sure.
Well,
I rented the wrong Arcade One Up video. This is not what I ordered.
It's not what I want.
alrighty. Well, let's go to the next.
But I
one
might
in-
stay.
Let's hit to the next one. I know we are pushing our time, but I'm hoping that we can continue the conversation because I feel like we're having a good one tonight. So, the 4KP. I
let
chose
that
the
take over.
Star Trek one here just for aesthetically, I guess. But anyway, I digress.
It's for PD7, baby.
There you go,
PD7.
PD7.
PD7. There you
Shout
go.
out to PD7.
There you go. So, pros and cons. Let's hear them.
By the way, on the 4KP, I did not like this one at all when they first brought it out. But when I saw it in person, I was like, wait a minute, that thing is actually not that bad. So kudos to PD7 for holding out and getting this one, especially after he saw it too, because I think it was actually a much better looking than I thought it was going to be.
It looks better in person than it does on a screenshot. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, it does. It does.
PD7 was the only one that bought one. I would not think so, but I was really leaning towards this. Remember when we were in Chicago, and I was really considering that, and then Sea of Thieves was announced, and it's like, man, that was a tough call. So
Yes, sir.
So yeah.
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 So
I think
so
a huge
go ahead. No, go
say a
ahead.
huge pro is the SSF kit in this thing, man. It rocks whenever, especially there's a couple
Mhm.
tables. It just Battlestar Galactic, is that the one? I always get them
Battlestar
confused.
Galactica.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is like, man, that rocks the whole room whenever you're playing that on it. But that's also a con in my mind because they can't really simulate that unless you get your hands on one. Because I wasn't going to get one of these, and then I went to Chicago Pinball and I started playing on one. And once you hear that SSF kit, it's like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I wish there's a way to like let people like experience it so that they get
And I don't
how
think,
much different it is from HD.
Yeah. I don't think the unfortunate thing, all the audio we've seen, all the gameplay and all that, there's just no way to really convey that through audio,
sir.
and you have to be physically in front of it. And I think that's in that one of the things you kind of was looking at yourself, Matt, was, is that kit really worth it? Is it going to bring the table to life for me? And I think you had to be in Chicago in front of it or at a conference just to see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing explains it more than being in a home setting. Because being in that big giant room with hundreds of thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of people just talking to the top of their lungs, you cannot hear it like you can hear it in a home setting, and it does blow your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say a pro for this, the 4KP, is the selection of family-friendly skins. Like my favorite one, and I didn't until I saw it in person, was Sheldon has that man. That table is gorgeous and it's family-friendly. Like it makes you smile when you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good point.
Yeah, that Peanuts table is insane.
Yep.
I gotta hand it to Todd because he kind of went out on the limb and picked up that one that nobody really wanted, and I thought that was actually a gorgeous looking machine, Todd.
The Sea of Thieves?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I know it's not a very popular, probably a popular a skin item, but I thought it looked great, and the topper that went with everything like that, I thought it was a very, very nice looking. So good pickup there on your part, because I almost came close to buying that one too.
Yeah. It was a tough call. It was a tough call because I do like Star Trek, even the Calvin universe, but and then seeing Snoopy and seeing even Jurassic Park had its pluses. I was talking a lot about doing Dino Dynasty and just reskinning it, but at the same time, I'm not upset with the choice that I made on Sea of Thieves for sure. And even my daughter and wife think that it looks aesthetically pleasing. So that's another positive for sure. So let's see here. So without being super negative, because what's the cons? Is there any cons that you can come up with this machine that you can think of on top of your head? I haven't thought much of it. I haven't thought of many cons, but I'm sure the chat will make sure to correct me on that.
I will say, go ahead.
I was gonna say, was it the $100 to get into it? To get to the backside of it? Is that
if you're interested in OTG or VPX standalone? Yeah, you got to pay for that stuff. And Act Games cannot help you with anything that has to do with the PC, or if you do OTG with PC, Act Games can't help you with that stuff because there's too many variables. You got 500 different types of video cards, 500 different types of motherboards, and there's different setups, and it's not just plug and play. Like, you got to do a lot of tinkering. And if you just want to be plug and play, OTG is not going to be for you. VPX standalone maybe, but not OTG. It's tough.
I agree that Addicted to Basic Fun, right? Once you put everything together, it gets close to $2,000 really fast.
Yeah.
And so, and like $2,000 doesn't sneeze at.
No, absolutely.
Wait, is Addicted to Basic Fun addicted to Arcade 1-Up just change his name? Is that the same guy?
It's very possible.
I don't know.
Let us know if you are. We would love to know.
Yeah.
We showed off Addicted to Arcade 1-Up. His arcade in his house was insane.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah.
Did he switch to Basic Fun? I wonder.
Yeah,
but
same person.
Yep, same person. Oh, he did.
Thank you.
Nice,
that's hilarious. I love it.
Oh boy. So yeah, the price is definitely hard to swallow. And if you're lucky and you get a promotional deal, kind of like I did with the Sea of Thieves and got the early bird, I'm pretty happy with what I paid for it, and the tables that I'm putting on it, I'm happy with. So,
I mean, if you compare it to other like Extreme Home Arcades or whatever their pinball machine is, that thing's $4,000, $5,000.
Yeah, that's what Thor K is saying right here. $2,000 for everything, including, is pretty good compared to other V pins that are 4K, start 6K when you add the SF. Yeah. So I mean, for sure. I mean, you're spending a lot of money, but for somebody that you just want this in your home arcade, it's hard to swallow. It's not an easy pill. If it was like Wonderland saying that we can get it under 1,000, we'd be all over this like water on rice. But it's just something that they can't build this quality machine for that price.
Yeah, I was about to say, how much more would it suck though if it was under say $1,200? I mean,
would we go back to the HD type?
It would be at
setup?
arcade 1-Up levels at that point.
Well, also, what about this discussion? Let's say Dinosaur Dynasty technically is non-IP, right? There should be a discounted based on, if like Star Trek, they have to pay to play, but they don't have to pay to have a dinosaur on the side of on a cabinet. Maybe there was a discounted based on the IP being trademarked or not trademarked.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if they would just make that the entry level machine, and make that say like $11.99. And if you wanted, say, Attack from Mars, or you wanted Sea of Thieves, or even Jurassic Park, make those the 1600, 1700 ones.
Yep.
And yeah, you get to play all the same games, but you would have to pay extra to reskin it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That I think PK should actually listen to that and be like, you know what, it's our IP. We make all the money on that.
Mm-hmm.
On that, so let's just make that the entry level device.
Yeah,
That's a
Gamer
great
Fridge has a
point.
good point. I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Every update seems to fix one thing and break another. So definitely a con. But I have to say the other side of that is the pro is they can come back and fix it. You're getting updates. You're getting stuff that I get it. But
No company's perfect. And At Games,
company.
everybody thinks like At Games is a giant corporation. Man, it's like 25 people.
Yes, sir.
It is a small company.
Yeah.
It's not a giant corporation at all. Like, I pretty much know everybody in the company. Like, I've met everybody, and it took like an hour to say hello to everybody. It's that small.
Yeah.
So so for them to just try, unfortunately, man, it's a small company. Things are going to break. And they're not perfect. They're far from perfect. It's kind of easier when you got a company like Apple that's multi-millions of dollars and multi-millions of people working on their software. Their stuff breaks too, but they can fix it a lot quicker because they know exactly what's going on. I don't know. I'm trying to help them out with. I'm trying to explain a little bit better, but it's I don't know. I'm not trying to be a shill or anything, but I'm just trying to explain. Listen from their perspective.
Yes, sir.
They don't have a huge IT department behind them to
Correct.
get things fixed right away. They've got to. It takes a little time, right?
It's literally like 3 people.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I would say I would never rule out buying one of these. By the way, I still think it's a great looking machine, and
Tony, man, come to Georgia when you bring me that golden tea. Midway,
okay. All right.
And I'll let you play on it for hours, and you'll be like, "All right, man, you sold it to me." I'm like, "All right, cool. Use my referral link."
Here's your referral link. Let me see you swipe the card while you're in front of me. Yeah. Okay. So I think for value wise, these still kind of hold their value to a certain extent. The ones that you do see on Marketplace are usually reasonably priced if they're getting rid of a 4K, but you don't see them very often.
No,
for sure. So I think it's still a good buy. I don't know what your thoughts are, gentlemen. If you think that they've been holding their value, obviously being a newer product. If they come out with anything different, I'm sure we might see something go down in them. But I think they hold their value well.
And to be completely honest, and it's my own opinion, this has been the best purchase I ever made in my home arcade. Straight up, I play this damn thing every day, even if I didn't even get paid to do it.
Yeah,
I still have played it every day since I bought it.
Yeah,
it's been the best thing I ever bought.
And the thing, like, since I started this whole arcade nonsense, my LP HD, like, it gets played the most of everything. Like, you could put all the hours together in the rest of the cabs, and it still wouldn't beat what we play on the HD. It's just they make good machines.
4KP is deeper than the Alice machine from front to back. So I guess when they're next to each other, it's going to look a little different. But when you go to a pinball bar or barcade or whatnot, there's all different machines. They don't all look symmetrical,
Yeah,
even
well,
some of the sterns look a little.
Considering you're dropping a 32-inch TV into it, number one. Number two, you got a crap load of wires and like little transformer boxes, like power boxes and stuff. It's everywhere. And then you got that giant sub. If you got this, it's got to have room for that giant sub too. That box is not small for the subwoofer for the SSF kit. So you got to have all that room. So like, you don't need that deep of a play field when it comes to Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the last one in our lineup, and I do have.
You do what?
We didn't hear you.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Oh, he made it.
I have no
almost
idea
again.
where he was going, folks. If he leaves, I don't know what's going on.
Well, in the meantime,
He's back.
oh,
I'm back.
wait, you're kind of here. Yeah,
Sorry,
there you
I
are.
froze. Am I still here?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you're here.
Yes.
Okay, I'm here. Well, we were gonna go to the Stern Home Edition. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick before I lose the connection again. How about that? There we go. All right. Whew. Am I still here? Am I still talking? Boy, Todd's
Yes.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it
Yes,
does.
we're gonna have a very stern conversation with Lumos. If you're watching, go ahead and get your rep ready.
That's it.
Anyway,
Said 3 times.
yeah.
Get
Say
your
it 3
ready.
times. Lumos. Anyway, so the Jurassic Park Home Edition from Stern. Now I know not every one of us can afford a $6,000 machine, but
What?
yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? But I did want to include Stern in this because obviously they make a home edition that's supposed to be. We saw these in Costco, and I kind of wanted to get your thoughts and opinions, the pros and the cons of this home edition. So have at it.
My complaint is
pros.
this. Yeah, go ahead, Stock Jock.
I would say the pros is it's real. It's a real machine. I mean, you know, you grab a hold of that thing, you know you're playing a real pinball machine.
Yes, sir. My pro is that it's. I mean, it's half the price of a bit. You know what's behind Stock Jock. The only con for me was it was never at my Costco, so I wanted to see it in person, and then there was like people are showing pictures like when it was like nearest the end of its cycle, like they were getting for like $1,500 to $2,000 for a real pinball machine. Like that would be insane. So yeah, my only complaint wasn't at my store.
Never had it. And it should have, you know, if they had done so well with them, you would have hoped that it would have gone to all the other Costco's, because I mean Costco is a big company.
Yeah,
They can,
right.
you know, they have the network to make it happen. It's just a shame that it didn't make it to some of the other ones.
Matt, I would have driven all the way down to South Florida for you to look for one there.
Yes, sir. You did for everybody else.
Gallagher guy, any pros or cons on this?
Pros, you know, obviously you're gonna have an actual pinball in your house. It is, like Matt said, cheaper. To me though, I kind of think if you're already going $6,000, you might as well just go all the way. I mean, just buy the real one. I'm just like, oh well. Like if I'm going $6,000 in, then I'm spending way much more money than what I'm supposed to spend on something like this. So I would just go for a full-fledged one. But also too, I know real pinballs, they require a little bit more know-how and maintenance. I've heard that before, so I'm not that guy, so that probably wouldn't be the thing for me. But I've seen I don't know if you guys, Ace of Jacks, he's on the Garage Gamers show, Late Night Live. He's on there, and he saw one at Costco, and he tried to play it, and it was broken. The plunger
Really?
had busted off of it, so I don't know why that happened, but it kind of was like, I don't really know if that's something I'd want to buy because it seems like it's maybe not made as well. I don't know.
Yeah. So Cami says, I own the Star Wars Home Edition and Labyrinth. This game doesn't feel any lesser of a machine, but the code is definitely closer to a 90s game than a complicated modern Stern. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
in his opinion, the game doesn't feel less of a machine, just, you know,
Yeah.
not on the
Yeah.
same level as a modern
It's a
machine.
dumbed down version. It's a dumbed
Yeah.
down version. Yeah.
So
We
I want you
appreciate
to go
that.
back to Zero Redux's comment.
The price is too
A little
high.
higher, a little higher. Sorry, a little higher.
A little higher.
There
I've
you go.
seen Venom, Deadpool, Godzilla, and Bond
True.
on Facebook for 5,000. Okay.
So yeah, if you look
Those
at
are the pros, probably.
so if you look at Pinside or whatever that website is, the resale market for pinball machines, you can find great 90s tables too. You can find a Demolition Man. You can find You can find Firepower.
Oh,
You can find a Venom, Deadpool, John Wick, Foo Fighters.
I've seen Stranger Things for $5,000.
Exactly. For exactly this same price or even a slightly less. Now, what's the difference? The DMD on this home version is smaller. And then you have a little bit less toys, less complicated toys and stuff like that, right? The complexity of the game. But like that's a pro, and even some premiums are getting around that price range right there. So if you're going to spend that kind of money and have that resale value, you want to try and I think I know Six. If Six was here, Sixon.
Yeah.
If Sixon was here, he would totally agree with this too. It's just better just to go ahead and buy a used, say, Deadpool, or Venom, and flip it, than it is to buy something like this. And these were designed to be low maintenance compared to regular machines. That's absolutely true too. Kenny, you're hitting it totally on the spot. So if these are designed to be low maintenance and home editions, that's one thing. If you're doing it just for the pinball and be able to play pinball and stuff like that, and you want to have like the bigger DMD and the more complicated stuff on the playfield, like full out complicated stuff, go on a used market and get, say, a Venom or a Deadpool. I think those replay values, as well as the value of the machine itself, would be higher than the resale value of this.
if people are bringing up, I have yet to have one single issue with this thing behind me, and it's going on 2 years now.
Yes, sir.
I've played a lot.
Time flies.
Yeah,
It does, hasn't it?
it's year and a half, I guess. I've yet to have one single issue with it, and it was a snap to put together too. It was, I mean, it's heavy as all get out, but it was super easy to put together. So they're not that bad if you can go pick yourself a used one up somewhere and bring it back to your house. I'm telling you, just as long as you got a buddy to help you with it, it's not as bad. Now, it does weigh a ton, but if you just there was a great video out there that actually Sixon sent me on how to set one up, and I think if you go back and you look in our Discord somewhere, I have to find it, but I wish I could find the link. Guy tells you step by step how to set one of these things up back here. It was amazing. I did everything he did, and it was so easy. Just make sure you got a stool and all that stuff, and go on. But the other thing too is this. All right, so let's go. I was thinking about go back and said, if you go back, okay, so if you take your $450 that you're going to pick up an HD with, okay, all right, right now you can go on Project. Well, look at that, right? Zero Redux stole my thunder. You can go on Project Pinball right now for $70. For $70, a raffle ticket. It's 20 entries is all it is. Okay, so your $70 is covering 400. If you take $400, what is that? Come on, help me out here, Matt. Real quick math. There, 70 goes into 400. 7 goes into 40. 6 times. Okay.
Yeah, 5.7.
Yeah, 6. So just say six tickets. So you got a 6 in 20 chance of winning one. A pro, and it's a great cause. It's a great cause.
Yeah, Project Pinball is a pretty good organization, and I've entered a few times. I don't know, like Zero said here, everybody's starting to get into it now. It only takes them a day or two to go through a raffle, and they're given a new machine. So hopefully I'll continue to keep trying because I think it's a good cause. But hopefully I could pick up a new machine as well.
And the interesting thing what they're doing now is they're not even limiting it to a certain machine. It's you pick one. Yeah.
Yeah, Stern's been very generous with them, and so I think it's a great cause for sure. So if you haven't checked them out, look up their website. They're on Facebook, and it seems like every Sunday they're doing a raffle. So
yeah.
All right. Well, So obviously, we don't think that these will hold our retail value, and I don't think you can do much modding with these. I think that's a fair statement as well. So, I'm gonna have to take back my thing and saying that Arcade 1-Up was number 5. I think the Stern Home Edition is probably going to be number 5 for me.
If it was like I'd say if it was like $1,500 less, I think more people would jump on it.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
If it was $3,500 or even $4,000, I think more people would jump on it.
Weren't they trying to clear these things out? Didn't they get down to a ridiculously low price? Like
$1,500, I think, is what Matt said,
bucks,
right?
I think, yeah.
That was the open box one. Yeah, the display unit.
Oh, I wouldn't care.
Wouldn't care for $1,500, especially if you could.
Yeah,
You know that Stern's got parts that you can get the parts to fix it. So
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough some of us got to tour that facility, and I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, $2,500 was probably the lowest new box, right? So pretty cool.
That would be another pro for this, that you'd have Stern, if you need parts or help with it
Yes,
at
sir.
all. They're, a bigger company that can help you out with that.
yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, they got great customer service.
yeah.
So I think we can all agree, kind of just wrapping up here, that I think Wonderland's coming into an interesting market. They're going to have an opportunity to give us home pinball at an affordable price, and hopefully be able to, give us some IPs that we want in the future. I don't know, if it came out with 2 or 3 more, I don't know if I could handle having that many more pinball tables. I'd have to make some decisions at that point, but
Or that many more, or that many puppies.
or that many more puppies. Yeah, for sure. Oh boy. All right. Well, I have ended all the polls that we had going on. So yeah, we had a good night for that. Let me see here. What was I gonna say? I wrote it down, and I never can find it when I need it. Right.
No.
So GameCube obviously won the between Xbox One and GameCube. So GameCube won that, and then no shocker here that PlayStation won over the Sega Saturn. So
Hold on now. I think if Saturn would have came out a little bit later and was better prepared, I think it would have done better.
Yeah,
because it had some great shoot 'em ups and fighting games on the Saturn.
Yeah, I love my Saturn. It's a good console, but it's not.
Plus, Daytona USA, man, come on.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of boxes, they actually have some cool boxes with artwork on them, unlike regular pins. Yeah.
The Home Edition
Okay.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a competition. GameCube is underrated. Okay. Especially when it comes to emulation. LOL. All right. Well, we're going to put those in the bracket for us, and we're still going to work our way to getting to our Sweet 16 and Elite 8 coming in the next week or two, because we're already second week of March already. So
check the Discord daily, because I know Jay's popping them up in the brackets section.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Real quick, because I think our good friend Chaotic, they are at 506 744 pledged on 100,000 gold for Wonderland. So congratulations, guys.
$1,000.
That is just amazing. That's a lot of capital that they can use, and a lot of machines they must have sold. So
wait, you
So
said
that
500,
means-
since we've been sitting here.
506,000, you said?
506,000.
106. Yep.
So we got
Yes.
well over 500,000. Just showed
Yep.
it.
Now, whenever I had said originally that they were right under 500,000, they're actually at 498,000. So they've made almost $9,000 since we've been talking.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So Peter,
No.
if you're watching us on replay, because I know
We
you're a
all get
busy
review
guy,
units.
we
all
did
get
9,000 for you.
You know what? Just throw me a topper. I'm good.
I'll take a topper. I'll take anything you want to give me, Peter. Even just a Wonderland sticker. I'll take that too. I'm not a picky guy.
Cards.
I'll take first in line. because the person who gets the first, the person who gets the first review out of this thing is gonna go bananas. So yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's total BS. If someone gave you an Xbox One or a GameCube, what would you pick? I don't know, man. Depends on what game I guess you had with the console, but
I love my.
I enjoyed the GameCube. I really did enjoy the GameCube, but
my kids did. My kids loved it.
Yeah, my Xbox One is connected to my driving sim, so it stays. Yeah, it's a multitasker.
There you go. Well, guys, we've been talking for almost an hour and 50 minutes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and doing the show with us. I know we tried to do an hour and 30, but it was a topic we wanted to really cover because pinball is just, the FOMO is real.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. But I'll wait. Yeah,
that one on this one really was.
It's a tough one. It was a tough one. So I'll cosplay as Alice and fly to China to play it for the first review.
That's what's up, Cammy.
Thank you, Cammy. That'd be awesome. So yeah. All right. Final thoughts? Anything you want to send these people home with before we send them home?
No.
I'll tell. Let's see, Israel Game. I'll have my green screen fixed for next week. Okay.
Okay. There you go. Hoggytown Arcade. Have a great week. Yeah, you too. Had a fun show. Oh, 60MG. I'm here. What are we talking about tonight? I think you've been watching this whole time. MG.
You in golf.
Yeah, are we getting a Yo Retro tomorrow night? Yo Retro?
No Yo Retro tomorrow night because we don't have any new releases yet, man. That's going to be on the 19th, and I can't say what it's going to be.
Okay.
The 19th. Mark your calendars, boys and girls. Xbox One is what? 3 generations newer than the GameCube. The GameCube's short lifespan and limited library is also a determinant and part of their demise. Yeah. Yeah, I have to give it to you there, but you could carry the GameCube wherever you want. It had that cool handle.
It had a handle.
Yes.
It had a handle.
Yeah, the Xbox.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if the Xbox One had the handle, I'd say Xbox One, but that handle, I tell you, it just puts it over the top.
Watch a video right now.
All right, boys and girls, thank you for hanging out with us. Yes, Cammy, you were probably going to be YouTuber of the week next week, so he's already taking care of you ahead of time. So we appreciate everybody in the chat.
Have the best Smash Bros.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, thank you again, and we will see you next week. We got a great show planned week. I can't tell you who the guest is going to be because I don't want spoilers for anybody, but check us out next week. We're going to have a great show planned.
Oh, can I play a video?
Sure, you can play a video. You can play any video you want to play.
Because y'all just remind me of the whole GameCube thing, so hold on. Who doesn't know about GameSack?
Oh, GameSack, he's like it. It's
awesome.
Yep.
Hey, Dave, let's see what the GameCube looks like upstairs on my new big screen. You ring it up?
Oh yeah. All right.
No!
That's right. This is my third GameCube. I know what I'm doing here.
No, not like that. What are you doing? You're supposed to pick it up by the handle. See? It's a handle.
Handle? That's not a handle.
Yeah, didn't you see the opening segment of the show? We just talked about this.
I missed it. That was to put your cords through it, right? It's not a handle.
You're an idiot. Jeez.
I guess it makes sense.
Clearly.
No wonder I have 3 broken games. I was straight in my hand. Come on. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's why it won tonight.
Yeah.
That's why I won tonight.
Yeah, I missed
All
Joe.
right. Well, thank you again. We will see you next week. Check us out. Mark your calendars. Be here next Wednesday. We'll have a great show planned for you. Hope all you panelists will be here again tomorrow. Hope our good friend Gamer Fridge is feeling better with his little sickness. And our good friend Joel catches up on all of those risers. So I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we will see y'all next week. Peace.
Good night.
Dude.